what to do with this. Alright, I'll see if it comes back up on my screen. Haven't seen it yet. I do see the chat having our stream has reappeared here, and seeing a purple team wins coming up largely against what the expectations would have been to that point. But if we couldn't get everyone to stay in the game, it is what it is.
What it's worth.
Yep.
All technical. I've watched this experience of a game very much for your continued patience.
Yeah, I mean, I for one was astounded to find that our viewer count was going up through most of that tragedy, travesty, traglige, destructionation. But it seems like we're getting things reconnected here, and see if we can continue forward with future matches.
Everyone's gonna give it a few minutes before we decide to.
I certainly don't blame them, and while we're getting all that set up and figuring out what may be done about this game and trying to get the next game scheduled, I do believe we have our at least one of our two next commentators cycled in and ready to get up on the mic. So as soon as OhThePandasCan is ready to cast, he's certainly welcome to jump in and see if we can get Game 4 off to a less tumultuous start, middle, and end than Game 3.
I'm actually going to turn the stream on to a random game here to see if the servers have decided to be happy yet. We'll see what comes of it. So don't think too much of what's about to come up. It's just checking.
Yeah, and towards the tail end of that game, I was able to log in.
We're going to do a little bit of stress testing here to see if the servers and the spectator servers specifically are working. That is the intent here.
Hello?
Hello. Good to have you here. You have a lot of background noise going on right now.
Let me see if I can fix it.
I think you might actually have some sort of phantasm going on behind you. I heard some whispering and other strange noises. No, it kind of sounds, and I know this isn't necessarily the case. Your digital disturbances in noise streaming can sound like all sorts of things, but it kind of sounds like you have running water behind you. So I don't know if there's any way you can change some of your mumble settings to make it so that your noise to signal ratio is such that we're only hearing you talk.
No, hold on.
I don't know, there's background noise.
Set the threshold so that only when you're talking it goes into green.
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can.
Is that any better?
Right.
Okay.
Oh, now we got a little bit bubbling up again.
Whatever your setting is on for how long it holds your voice.
Okay, I lowered how long it'll hold my voice after I talk. Okay, hopefully that'll be better.
Out of curiosity, what kind of mic are you using?
I have a SteelSeries V2 headset. It's Siberia.
Area. Okay, your mic quality is a little bit shoddy, and I don't know why. Bit of.
I'd say that may be mumble settings. I know there are mumble settings that are typically related to latency.
That's what I was thinking. It's like not. I don't think it's the headset because the headset should be fine, but.
Panda.
Yeah.
You go into settings and click the advanced thing. There's noise suppression. You can drag that and adjust that manually. And that'll kind of adjust where it starts picking up things.
Okay, I'm adjusting it so that the red zone is higher. Okay. Does that sound any better?
That's a lot better.
Team double kill.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't usually use continuous and mumble.
Yeah, same here. You know, you might if you. Right, but I've explained this earlier. What is the case is that poor Leno is able to send his thoughts psionically. So whenever you're speaking to no one, it's because we are speaking to poor Leno, and he's helping us get things set up.
Speaking of poor Leno, you might want to turn off the mumble text-to-speech.
Oh, it's in configure. You just uncheck it. Oh, ventral. I don't know.
Don't speak very loudly your voice is completely fine. Like, start speaking loudly, that the quality breaks up a little bit. So if you go into settings and try to adjust that. I'm past this game for what it's worth, to keep you guys at least a little bit entertained. Right now you see. Well, I'm just whatever it's on stream right now is what I'm gonna commentate on.
Okay.
No, like what I'm watching on stream is what I'm gonna. So like the thing that everyone's watching now.
Right, but then
Okay.
what's going to happen is that
Yeah, that's
your
fine.
commentary is going to be rebroadcast based on that, so your commentary will be a couple seconds behind the.
That's okay. It's better than nothing.
I don't know. I mean, if we wanted to take a look at our schedules for the next game here, and
Let's try and
actually
get that
do that.
going.
Yeah.
Also, Leno, it's if you go into the settings, you have to click it. Okay, you did. Excellent. All right. Let's try and get the next one underway then. We're about 40 minutes behind schedule.
As will I.
all right, well,
So-
gentlemen, Chaos, it was fun working with you. I'm sorry we didn't have a more complete game to cast.
It's always a shame, but yeah, it was a pleasure. Glad I got the chance, and hopefully you guys at least had somewhat of an interesting time for what it was worth.
Yep, we thank all of our continued viewers, and we are going to go ahead and get our next game organized just as quickly as possible here.
Do you know if Landovva will be casting for this game? Okay.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to. Yeah, I'm more than happy to stick around, so we're going to make that happen. So, I mean, if you need me to be bad cop so you can be good cop, we could make that happen.
Okay. It's the same as my Mumble ID, so.
Did you hear that, guys? You can totally play a league with a girl. I mean, I'm not gonna be more explicit, but I'm a little excited about that idea right now.
It's a nice thought.
I winked, but I'm pretty sure you couldn't see it.
I'm also pretty sure I couldn't see it.
Right. All right. So yeah, the idea here is that I'm going to jump into the game. Poor Leno and I are going to get things set up. We're going to invite all the people who are on our roster here. So if you are watching and you're signed up to play in Game 4, you should get your butt onto the League client. Make sure you are around and available, ready to play the role that you signed up for. And then we're going to go to our priority backups list if we have any roles and spots that still needed to be filled. We are seeing people show up in our Reddit 5v5s for Game 4, although we don't necessarily have a full team's worth yet. We'll see if we can get these matches going, and then we will press forward from there once we can get into picks and bans.
I know that. So hopefully this game will go off with less technical glitches than the last one.
Yeah, I mean, we had our first 2 matches of the game went quite well. Although our first match of the game, which was supposed to be the high elo matchup and the one we try to encourage people to watch, ended up kind of being a free for all with everybody involved, including myself. I'd been here with the intent of watching the first game, but I ended up getting involved, and that should be up in our VOD section if you are inclined to watch. It was a rather interesting match. We pulled a turnaround in the latter half of the game. Graves getting fed off his ass, and then game 2 was also concluded without it. There was a lot of good plays there, a lot of interesting stuff coming out of Vayne and Zyra, and now we are looking to press through, forgetting the incidents but not the players of game 3, and see if we can get game 4 organized and played pretty much without incident.
Yeah, hopefully. Sometimes there's just stuff you can't plan for.
Oh, fantastic. So we're seeing that people might have been signing up on the schedules with Reddit names rather than league names, which would leave us with absolutely no way to get in contact with them, except through Reddit, which isn't going to bring them into the game fast enough. So we're probably going to be dipping into our priority substitutes list and seeing if we can get people connected then. I know we've got a few people getting ready, and we've just gotten the game up and created, so I should be able to give you a more inside perspective on how the game is shaping up so far, in addition to what you may be seeing on the stream. So we'll see if we have more information for you in just a moment here.
Alright, I'm going to go right on ahead and just invite everyone on the substitute list because we have people who don't exist supposed to be in this game. There you go.
Alright, I'm in here. We've
So it looks like we're going to need probably 4 people. You just got to figure out who plays what.
Sure. Let me see if we can check up against our stat sheet here. I see now Trebor Cram. Yes, I did practice the pronunciation of that right to see if I could get it the first time. He's playing support for our team 2 here. And Exios on AD carry. And Positive at mid. So team 2 needs a top and a jungle. Oh, I know Exios. I saw that. Alright, we've got Kardoff as Salat playing top here. You've got Kirihara Akaya at mid. And we've got Skull, or Scully, filling in here. I'm not sure quite what role they're playing here. So team 1 rather, at present needs bottom lane and a jungler.
Yeah, I have a friend, -12, who's really hoping to sub in if
All right, we got the invite here, and
get him
Dash12 has
in.
joined us.
Alright.
The roles that are available to us at this point are, let's see, I believe it was jungle and support for Team 2. So if Dash12 is interested in playing either of those, or...
I actually think it's jungle and top lane if Gno is playing support.
Right, thank you. Poor Leno making us laugh with his incredibly raunchy jokes that the rest of you can't hear.
Yes, they're very funny.
Well, that's not even fair, because I can turn my microphone on.
Oh no, I'm aware. I'm just giving them the impression that you're funny and charming. What's the problem with that?
You should thank him.
Well, other than the fact that it's completely false.
I'm sorry, he wants me to be absolutely sure and make sure that all of you watching the stream know that he is not, in fact, funny, charming, or attractive.
He doesn't want to lead you on.
Right.
So I guess -12 can either be jungle or top. I
Right,
don't know.
or on the opposite team, we've got a mid and top taken, so anybody in the bottom lane appears to be available depending on what Scully might be playing. So
Yeah.
if Dash12 is interested in playing bottom lane, then switching teams might be more appropriate. Scully seems interested in AD carry,
Okay.
and Dash is going to stay where they are.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, and I believe on Team 1 here that what we're seeing still needing is support and jungle. And then I think also jungle for Team 2.
Yeah, that looks correct. If we're still looking for a jungler, I think I have someone that could fill in.
Yeah, I think we need a jungler on each team, and then additionally a support for Team 1.
Okay, should I just send you a message in Mumble with his name, or how should I? Okay. Okay, so we're still looking for a jungler and a support. It's always a good thing to check.
You know, say we had a commentator strung out earlier by problems with the computer. So
You could swap teams if you want, Doc.
all right, we've seen one more player swap in, and Gnoll Trebor Cram has returned for Team 2. So we're going to see poor Leno jump over to the spectator's side when he's able. Sounds like a plan. And are you broadcasting voice right now, or am I just talking to myself? Okay. So Leno's plan is to go ahead and bring the last player in and then bump out. Delty says, gotta dodge actually, sorry. Chaos Infernal is interested in getting in, so we'll see if we can bring him in on one team or the other.
Yes,
would
we
casually
wouldn't
bow
want
out of the
unfair
channel now.
advantages.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ask the Chaos
Very well.
Infernal to recuse himself.
Very well.
Hey Shade, you played last week, right? I see you talking in the chat here like you want to play.
Only way to find out is if you invite him. Okay.
And it appears that there we go. We've got a full game here.
Yeah? Alright, so hopefully everyone's ready.
Alright, I'm gonna shut my microphone off, talk to you all again after the game.
Alright, this is a quick message out to the teams who are playing, and it is a suggestion that you are more than welcome to join up if you are in or on the Mumble. Just pick a room and get there. But at this point and so far today, it's been primarily just been the teams regarding that for themselves. So, I totally understand if you want to take a quick minute here to see if you want to join your Mumble channels, but we would also like to get the game started as soon as possible.
Yeah, Mumble should be a pretty quick download, and the setup isn't too difficult. So hopefully we can get the teams on some sort of voice chat.
Alright, and we're off into picks and bans.
Okay.
Sitting Kirihara and Exios being our team captains here. Kirihara on blue team having first bans and picks. We'll see what he chooses. Taking a minute to get connected to everybody yet. Haven't seen anything happening yet. And we see Shen as our first ban. Exios given the choice to see what he wants to ban. I've seen the pick and ban process is a good bit of seeing the mindset of each of these players, seeing perhaps if they're asking their team or if there are particular lanes that have champions that they don't like to see. We're waiting to the last second here. We're seeing an Ezreal ban come out first, so Exios and the purple team might be more befitting bans on AD carries that they don't want to have to play against.
Yeah, and the Shen ban is pretty standard. They're afraid of that global capability that he offers.
Sure, I would say between the slipperiness in terms of ganking and moving around in his lane, and then the global utility.
Yeah.
Seeing a similar ban with Malphite, and that's not terribly surprising either. And then an Amumu ban is a back-to-back. We've seen Amumu in most of our games so far today, and with varying levels of success. But nobody likes the curse of the sad mummy, which is why he continues to be such a sad mummy.
Yeah, Malphite and Amumu both have just such powerful crowd control ultimates that they're just scary because of that alone.
And Ahri coming out as the third ban from the blue team here. It looks like they are not interested in first picking their mid or picking in such a regard that they'd have to play against an Ahri. I know a lot of people don't like to have to try to counter her. We're seeing first pick as a Diana again. This is the second or perhaps third time today we've seen that. She's a very strong mid laner or possibly to be utilized as a jungler.
Yeah. Now, I'm curious if the Ahri ban was actually counter-picking against the players, because some of the mid laner on the other team actually plays Ahri a good amount. So we'll see. I think Positive is going to be the mid lane for Team 2.
And we've had a bump. We lost somebody.
Oh.
Let's see what we can do here. That was our player who stated that he was EU or was just perhaps not from NA playing on somebody else's account. So I don't know if there might have been some latency or other connectivity issues that caused that to happen.
Yeah, so I guess our standard is going to be keep the same picks and bans that's happened so far, not to give any unfair advantages.
Yeah, no, we're trying to present ourselves as at least a quasi-reputable organization here. So keeping same picks and bans is pretty much standard procedure in that regard.
Yeah, it's definitely a fair call.
All right, and we put Cardoff El Salat back into the game. Hopefully we'll be able to get back up and running now. Apologies to all involved from him. And we're going to see if we can get back into our picks and bans phase.
Okay, let's cross our fingers here.
All right, positive given the go-ahead to get the game started, and we are back into picks and bans. So do you predict seeing any picks and bans chosen differently this time around? I know I'm messing with you.
Trick question.
Alright, just pop through this process real quick, and we'll see our Diana come up as first pick. And our Vayne and Irelia showing back up here. You know, I think if anybody had been watching that second game, that would certainly increase your excitement level to play Vayne if you weren't looking at it before, or if you were, just make you feel like you were making the right choice, because the Vayne in that game there, you know, all due respect to the skill of the player behind her, but she was just ridiculous and ended up going 17-2 over the course of the game. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get our Vayne locked in here, if that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. When you get fed as Vayne, there's nothing like that feeling. You just feel unstoppable.
Yeah, I say I would absolutely recommend, if you're so inclined, to go back and rewatch Game 2, because the synergy between Vayne and Zyra was really just excellent. Zyra landing her ult across the entire enemy team on multiple occasions. Alright, we get our Vayne locked in here, and we're going to go back to Scully to see who he decides to play.
Okay, so Scully's going to be looking for our AD carry. Let's see if he picks that.
Alright, we get an Urgot coming out.
Not sure I understand the Urgot pick right now.
Especially when coupled with a pick of MF. Urgot in the jungle is what it looks like we're being set up to believe right now, but I'm just gonna believe that these people have been watching enough streams that they enjoy trolling commentators, and we'll see how this drills down in about 10 seconds.
They're waiting for us to explain why an Urgot jungle might work and what strategies he might use.
I'd be more than interested to watch it, because we're at 1 second here. It looks like he's going to lock it in. No, and pulls to Rammus at the last second. Okay. No, I enjoy Rammus and seeing Rammus play, but he's a lot less powerful than he used to be. Keep seeing the we're having an error pop up over our screen here saying the active game not found, but I don't think we should be seeing any active games because we're not playing yet. So figure out what's happening, make sure we can get into the game, and that PandasCan can join us once the game loads properly. We do see a Cho'Gath and a Lulu coming out from purple team here. So a Lulu Vayne lane seems like an interesting choice. I'm not sure how well the two of them synchronize, but
yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I think Lulu is not going to provide quite as much CC as Vayne might need in lane.
Right. I mean, you know, despite the notable advantage of being the best support in the game, you know, she still doesn't have all that much going on with Vayne, but those two picks are locked in. We're going to see a Cho'Gath on the purple team, see whether he fits into jungle or if he's going to be the mid laner.
Yeah, I kind of do like the Lulu pick against MF though, because MF hates being slowed in lane just because of her passive, so it could work out in that respect.
Sure, you know, and we'll see who MF's support is to see how aggressive that she might be allowed to be.
Yeah, I mean, if I were that MF, I'd love to see a Taric pick here, but...
We got a Vayne coming out. Looks like somebody's interested in being aggressive top lane.
Kayle. Okay.
I mean, Kayle. Yeah, same difference. Kayle, Vayne. Yeah, it's a couple letters off.
Just a few.
I mean, you know, if I wanted to be closer but still wrong, I could have said Morgana, because, you know, at least there's some sort of relation for them. We don't see any champs going out from Chaos Infernal, and at the very last second, it's a Nunu. So a Nunu MF lane, that's definitely going to be putting the pain onto to Vayne and Lulu if they can find an opportunity or two.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Vayne to deal with the ice balls from Nunu constantly.
Right, and then, you know, if Rammus is able to make himself known, see if he can get a taunt off onto either member of bottom lane, that'd be really dangerous. And then we're seeing locked in already Kha'Zix as the last pick for purple team.
Yeah, so if we
and
look
I don't
at the
see anybody switching around either. It looks like everyone's picked for themselves here. So
yeah, I had thought that Dash 12 was supposed to go top and positive mid, but looks like they're not swapping. Yeah, okay.
oh, I mean, you know, and Cho'Gath fits into multiple locations, so you know, I wouldn't say that he was necessarily locked into somebody except by the champions that are chosen around him. But yeah, it looks like he will be going mid, so that'll be interesting to see against Diana.
Yeah, I think that Cho'Gath probably will win that lane, assuming equally skilled players, just because it's hard for Diana to burst down Cho'Gath in lane, which is what she really wants to do.
Right, and I could see the early game turning against Diana, although, you know, as we've seen in our last few games, if Diana gets the opportunity to, you know, get through the first couple of levels relatively unscathed, as soon as she buys an item or two that boosts her AP, she's going to become a lot beefier. You know, Cho'Gath isn't really going to be bothered by the fact that there's somebody sticking to his face. He still has his Feral Scream to turn off some of Diana's abilities temporarily, and then also his Rupture to, you know, give him kind of a shoo away or to keep her from chasing him. But you know, I'm still not really going to give heads up to either player in that lane. Interesting to see that MF going heal, playing a little more conservatively than we often see bottom lanes these days. Haven't seen the heal meta being carted out in a while.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because we don't see anyone between Lulu and Vayne running Ignite to counter that either, so it could actually work out for her.
It's a fun point. Both teams have less Ignites than you might expect. You know, it's the two per team rather than the three that we often see. and you see Kha'Zix's taking Ghost in the jungle. I imagine he wants to take that combined with his ulti to give him the mobility and the point of access to enemy champions once he's able to move around.
Yeah. I would say that both of the junglers on these teams are very mobile junglers, and they could see a lot of ganks here.
Certainly, I wouldn't be terribly surprised with that. And then let's see where each jungler starts. Where do you suppose a Kha'Zix's early game is going to take him? See,
Yeah.
I would suspect that he there's a point at which his jungle is pretty heavily mono driven because he needs to keep using that W line nuke to give himself health back. So I wouldn't be surprised, or rather, I would be pretty surprised if he didn't start blue because his clear time isn't gonna, or his sustain won't be very good without it. And for Rammus, it's kind of more of a toss-up. We haven't seen Rammus in the jungle much lately because his overall stats and ability damage has been nerfed a couple of separate times. So we'll see what he and his team decide to do.
Yeah. Now, I'm trying to think about whether or not either of these teams will try for a level 1 team fight or an invade based on their team compositions, and I don't know which team I would favor for this. We have some good CC on the purple team from Cho'Gath and Irelia, depending on what she takes first.
Right. I mean, I would think the advantage that purple team would have in that regard would be the area AoE from Cho'Gath. And
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to what we had in Game 2, where Alistar had a knock-up available to him, which could have dictated a level 1 team fight if that were available.
Okay, so I'm loading up my in-game client for spectator mode right now. Let's get this game started. Or rather, it already has.
Yeah. And I will actually be right with you because being on a multiple monitor setup and still having the problem where the game sometimes decides to load in between the two monitors, that's what's just happened to me.
Oh yeah. Do you ever get where it loads in the corner of the screen?
Well, I mean, that's what's going on here, except since I have multiple monitors, I can see the top half of the client across each monitor. So I'll see if I can fix that.
So just judging by their frame borders here, we have a mix of different ELOs from last season. Of course, prior to the subs, the teams were fairly balanced, so we'll see how it plays out now with the new subs.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you brought people into the game, so we can certainly consider blaming you if it's on an even game.
Yeah, I'll take all the blame. I should have run the numbers before bringing them in.
Fair enough. We don't have our team statistician with us this evening to do our appropriate and important elo crunching calculations, but we do still have everyone's favorite heads up factor, and that is that blue team does have the advantage in terms of skins, even though Judgment Kayle really only barely counts as a skin because all you had to do to get it was play the game.
Yeah, that's true. And Dark Valkyrie Diana, they took away her headdress, so I don't even know if we can count that one either.
I don't know. I think that's you can't be stepping too far over people's copyrights was the problem primarily that, or was the problem that it was too close to other? I would say it was too close to Syndra's skin idea, right?
I thought it was too close to the Syndra idea. That was my understanding because they did look really similar.
Gotcha. All right, well, we're seeing our start to file out here. Pretty standard startups and items. As I stated in the previous game, I'm quite interested in seeing how Season 3 item changes change the meta of item buying. We're seeing Cho'Gath, seeing Rammus come up through mid lane, and probably going to see Diana and Kayle in a second here, but got a little bit of a confidence game going on here.
Yeah, purple team doesn't look like they want to invade right now. They're a little scattered.
No, they're not at all grouping up aggressively. They're grouping up in a much more tactical regard. And blue team, on the other hand, is ready to be aggressive.
Yeah. So Cho'Gath showing a little macho power here against Rammus.
Rammus takes a rupture, but that's not all bad. Cho'Gath's ruptures do cost an awful lot of mana, and if you don't hit everyone with that, or if you're not able to combo it up with the rest of your team, that's just mana that's spent. And we'll see if he gets it back by the time the game starts.
Yeah, does have a good chunk of mana missing.
Alright, I imagine we're going to see our bot lane start moving down that way. In fact, there is a ping from Scully and Chaos Infernal to move back toward their objectives and toward their lane. And Cho'Gath and Kha'Zix here looking to get set up on these creeps together.
Yeah, so it looks like both junglers are going to start blue buff, so may see a top lane or mid lane gank from Rammus first, and maybe mid or bottom from Kha'Zix.
Yep, and we see both junglers here were able to take their creeps and the experience from appropriately. We had some concerns over that in our previous games here, where some people who were trying to assist the junglers were staying a little too close and siphoning off some of that experience. But I don't think we saw that in this game, so junglers are just going to be able to move straight ahead. Rammus looked like he's losing a little bit more health than Kha'Zix, but especially since Kha'Zix has his blue, his sustain is going to be innately higher. Rammus is just going to have to count on Powerball to try to hit multiple opponents and then turn on his shields to do most of the work for him.
Yeah.
Oh, we've missed a first blood already, pretty much as I expected. And they see if they can get the double, the second up on Lulu.
Oh,
if
okay.
MF has any abilities up, that's going to do it. And they heal, but it's not going to be enough.
Go down.
Lulu does take the kill off of MF, but 2 kills onto MF real early. Lulu a little upset with his AD, but we'll see if we can't make it up in the future.
Yeah, I think that's definitely in blue team's favor. You get 2 kills onto MF and just the 1 onto Lulu, so...
Alright. Nunu still pushing his lane here. I'll see if see how that plays out in the coming minutes. He's apparently not upset, or, not worried about MF getting her groove on from farming, so long as she has those 2 kills. It's perhaps going to try to deny Vayne as much golden experience as possible, because Vayne is not great at farming under the tower, especially when she doesn't have her tumble up.
We have some pretty heavy harass coming out from MF onto Lulu.
And similarly, we're seeing, as we have in the last couple of games with Irelia, we're seeing Irelia get pushed to her tower awful early here. Kayle with that, Righteous Judgment, her E being a Righteous Fury. I was close. With Righteous Fury being up, roughly half the time in the early game, and even more often as she tends to take cooldowns. Kha'Zix is going to try to sneak his way up there and see if he can leap on to Kayle, but Kayle being level 4, she's going to have her slows, and she also sees him right as he goes. She puts the slow down onto Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix is healed. Kha'Zix is healed, took him all that health back. She's not going to make it out. She tried to sneak away down to the other side of the bush, but Aurelia's Blade Surge put her onto Kayle immediately, and that was about all they needed.
Yeah, I think if I were that Kayle, I would have walked more towards my tower, because it's hard to get away through that bush.
Yeah, probably so, and see that Kayle did blow her flash. She just, she tried to do it in the direction of going, but when she was already at the bottom of the bush. Oh, we're seeing Vayne go real low here. MF did take care of Vayne again. There's not too much she can do.
Yeah.
This is pretty much the way I was expecting, and a lot of that has to do with the communication and the expectations between your AD carries and your support. Lulu and Vayne certainly have ways that they could succeed, but if you don't have those two talking and knowing what page they're on, then we end up with a Lulu here who's stuck at level 2 sitting under the tower waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, so right now in our mid lane matchup, it looks like they're fairly even, and Cho'Gath actually went back, picked up a couple items.
Yep, and Diana's taking the opportunity to do the same. Vayne picked up Berserker's Greaves already, but not going to be putting out much damage without any sort of Doran's Blade. They're not going to have the damage or the sustain that the lifesteal affords.
Yeah.
A lot of pings going down from purple team as Kha'Zix sneaks through blue team's jungle and is looking to come up behind MF. MF
Yeah.
putting down lots of harass on Lulu though. We'll see if he gets there fast enough. Kha'Zix isn't able to get there, but looks like he's going to take down MF.
Damage,
Certainly
yeah.
so. Yeah, the combination of the damage between Kha'Zix, who's already gotten a kill, they're going to put down both players in this team. We'll see Kha'Zix does take the kill rather than handing it over to Vayne. But Vayne Vayne did get her beak wet, has 1 kill and 2 assists now, and Kha'Zix is at 1-0 and 2. Certainly ready to go back and buy. We saw a kill between Rammus and Diana as well. Just Cho'Gath being real close to the blue side of the lane, and so certainly could see where he'd be pulled out too far and then taunted by Rammus. I did not see the action explicitly, but pretty good guess as to how that went down.
Yeah. Actually, it looks like blue team has a lot better vision of the map right now. They have 3 wards up where purple team doesn't seem to have any right now. One goes down by Lulu.
Yeah,
and
Lulu
another
getting
one.
ready to support now. Yeah, you know, and I imagine being at 640 in the game, they probably put down their 1 set of wards real early, and then with bottom lane being zoned out early the way they had been, they just weren't able to do much off of those wards. They also put down a ward in bottom tri-brush on blue side to make sure that Kha'Zix can't sneak through the way he did previously. But he is finding Rammus up top. They're going to duke it out a little bit, but Kayle's probably going to come in and try to turn the tides on this one.
She's coming in to back him up, and Irelia's also coming in.
She goes around the long way, so Kha'Zix and but here comes Diana. Diana's gonna destroy Kha'Zix, no doubt. And now we've got 3 blue team just backing off back onto their side. Rammus gets out with just over 100 HP, pops a potion, and is ready to drop blue buff off for Diana.
So that's a pretty good pickup for Diana as well. She's at 2-0 right now, and Cho'Gath's still 0-1.
Yeah, I'd say this is absolutely how you get a Diana off the ground, especially when you have a tanky opponent like Cho'Gath in your lane. Wow. Did I miss something, or was it? No, obviously, I'm looking at bottom lane right now. I think the snowball coming out from Nunu hitting Vayne even the once. Yeah, Nunu has 20 AP. So every one of those snowballs is really doing ugly base damage to Vayne. You know, but I'm sorry, between the base damage and the bonus is really doing ugly damage to Vayne and cutting through those Lulu shields. It's just not a matchup that's favoring purple team right now.
Yeah.
MF blows the ult to get Vayne's health as low as possible. See if they can encourage her to back again. Lulu does what she can, but blue team is already pushing onto the turret and Nunu ranging around behind it to do more aggression. Cho'Gath has reached 6 and has pulled out his first stack from his ultimate. But blue team is taking down their first tower of the game at 8:30. Giving themselves a 1.7.
Really starting to snowball for blue lane.
Well, it's interesting they decided to take down the tower this early in the game because that does give the champions more opportunity to pick other lanes to move through, and Kha'Zix seems to be trying to take that opportunity, but see what purple team's communication is like, because they may try to stay in that lane and keep farming up for a while because Vayne is not even off the ground in the slightest yet.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Seeing Rammus, Rammus is going to go ahead and take red buff. I thought he might have been prepping it for MF, but he goes ahead and takes it for himself.
As far as items, Cho'Gath is going for a chalice first, and Diana looks to be... she's building a blasting wand and sorcerer's boots right now.
And Chalice is sort of an interesting choice on Cho'Gath. I imagine it's largely as a counter to Diana to make sure he has the survivability, because his attacks with their base damage aren't especially high. So, you're going to see the utility coming out from him with the Chalice and the mana regen, but beyond that, it's pretty much just the magic resist. And then we see 4 Doran's blades on blue team versus just the 1 on purple team. Kayle and MF building mirror builds at this moment, actually.
Yeah, perfectly.
Yep, but we see MF having 1,050 more gold. So she's probably going to work her way up to 1,650 and then just go ahead and buy a BF sword.
Interesting to see whether
Nunu
MF
popping
goes
the ultimate, trying to put down lots of damage on Lulu. Lulu flashes that at the last possible moment. They're going to keep the harass down and keep slowing the CC combo onto Lulu.
Chase.
Lulu uses her ulti to try to persuade people to leave her alone. And now Vayne going to do what she can to MF. They're just going to swap out. people changing positions. Rapid Vayne taking way too much damage. She's almost certainly going to go down if anybody notices she's there, but they haven't. And Kha'Zix comes in. Kha'Zix got 1 kill, 2 kills.
Wow.
In favor of only Vayne. Kha'Zix showed up at exactly the right time. Absolutely. I completely agree. We got Cho'Gath at mid fighting our Rammus here. Rammus might see if he can get a taunt off on him when somebody else can get nearby. But we've also got Kha'Zix coming in.
And
he's
scaring
going to
off
put some
Rammus.
damage down onto Rammus. Yeah, certainly. Rammus is going to be in full retreat at this moment, but I don't suspect that Kha'Zix will be able to finish him off. Let's see what Kha'Zix has evolved so far. See, he's got his evolved wings. He's going to try to be as mobile as possible. Got Diana coming in. She's back in her lane, looking to put down danger on people, but they're baiting each other back and forth at this moment with no real resolution. I don't suspect that anybody will go down just yet.
Okay, so it looks like Vayne is going for the Phantom Dancer, or first probably. She has Ezreal right now. Pretty standard pick for Vayne because of her W.
Sure, not a bad idea to try to proc the bolts more often, although with the heavy harass coming out of Nunu and the Kage's lucky pick giving him, goodness, what's his AP total now? Okay, it's the 25. He just had the book from earlier. I thought he'd had base AP as well, but I wasn't paying as much attention to his items.
Yeah. Yeah. With the heavy harass from MF, I might consider something like a Bloodthirster first for Vayne.
Yeah, and I see Irelia having forced Kayle out of the lane and putting some damage down on that top turret.
Yeah, right now Aurelia's up 28 CS on Kayle, so it looks like she's winning that lane, and she also has picked up a kill.
Yeah, from the extended engage we saw top earlier, where she was able to kite Vayne around to the point where Vayne was out of mana. Aurelia's going to go ahead and back now. We see Cho'Gath having taken a blue buff and taken some wraiths here. He's getting pretty big. He's got 5 feast stacks, so only 1 more to go for him. And then MF is just kind of arranging around them. I would say the bottom lanes are really less structured than the rest of our lanes continue to be at this point, because MF doesn't really have a tower to worry about at this point. Purple team pinging her because they've got lots of wards across her side of the map, and we also got some retreats coming out from there. People continuing to try to encourage MF to retreat because we see Kha'Zix and Cho'Gath in her immediate vicinity. Nunu's going to try to form up towards her, but we've also got the entire bottom lane from Purple Team folding in to see if they find Nunu or MF before they're able to respond. Bottom lane being set up.
Like
Rengar Kha'Zix makes the jump.
Up mid right now.
MF's slow down. Applied on to Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix going real low. Manages to condemn Rammus into the wall. Oh yeah, the Lulu ult, but it's not going to be enough. Vayne's going to take down Nunu after Nunu managed to take his ult. She managed to get the kill on the Nunu, but blue team just has too much damage and too much presence still in the area.
So
that's
I would
a
say
1
that
for 3.
MF is
Pretty
definitely
ugly
still
for...
stronger.
Oh yeah, no doubt at all.
Now they're going to be able to push this tower as well.
Yeah, they're 5 and 3. They've got 2 players with 1,000 gold left to spend versus just the Cho'Gath, who is still out trying to defend. He has the gold to spend, but he's not able to spend it right now.
Yeah. So we now have 2 towers advantage for the blue team.
A little surprising that the gold difference is only 3,000, but especially considering how early our bottom lane stopped the laning phase. But those 2 towers are going to be a large part of that 3,000 gold difference. So now Purple Team's just kind of in the regard or in the mode of trying to get farm on their beefy or their important characters wherever they can. You know, Vayne's gotten some kills here and there, but she's also taken the most deaths of anyone on her team. You know, partially, as Lulu stated earlier, from some early game antics. But we'll see how if she can get back up on the horse. Irelia is putting down a little bit of harass onto Kayle and trying to stay present in the lane to get more farm and experience. And bottom lane on blue team has returned to their lane to continue pushing things down and to farm over there.
Yeah, MF hasn't gone back in a while, so she's stockpiling gold right now, trying to really just farm up because she does have the control over Vayne.
Nunu's going to sneak up and try to steal away blue buff, but Cho'Gath managed to take it just before she got there. Yeah, I mean, MF with her 2,000 gold here can just about finish off a Bloodthirster at this point. You know, she might be a little bit short of it, but trying to look at our ward coverage here as well. I'm surprised that no one has made any sort of play for Dragon yet, and Kha'Zix is now on top of Nunu. MF trying to chase him off, and does so successfully.
Yeah, I'm also surprised that no one's gone for Dragon yet. It's already 15 minutes in, which is usually time you want to have a Dragon.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the way that games that I play in on a day-to-day basis tend to go. You know, our team has entirely forgotten that Dragon exists, and by 15 or 20 minutes, the enemy team has taken Dragon twice. But it looks like that hasn't been the case for either team so far.
Yeah, I would say that Purple team is lacking a little bit in map control for Dragon right now because they do have their mid and bottom towers down, so they might be hesitant because of that, or they might have just forgotten, I don't know, blue team's thought process.
We got 2 blue on just Irelia at top. Irelia is going to get taunted by Rammus. Rammus putting down the continuous damage with his ult. She's going to try to flash out of it. Speeds,
it's like she's going to get
the
away
speed up,
there.
But yeah, she will get away. Rammus not willing to put down another power ball. And now we've got 3 players on purple top trying to change the odds in their favor, but they don't realize that blue team has a total of 4 members up top, with MF leading the charge, interestingly enough. It's rather ballsy of her, but we'll see how that plays out. Looks like everyone's trying to ping each other to different objectives and move around the map.
Like this might be purple team's time to finally take down that bottom tower. Get
and it
some
certainly does.
Gold.
See if they can bring that lead inside 3 gold.
Irelia.
Yep, Irelia is brought down by 3 players on blue top, and they're gonna trade tower for tower just about. Purple team takes down blue team and bottom tower first, but blue team responds by almost immediately taking purple top.
So again, purple team still lacking in towers, 2 towers behind right now.
Yeah, they just
and they continue that push from blue.
Their plays are largely in trading, but oh my goodness, blue team, you're right, as you said, is continuing. They're going to have another, so top 2 towers are gone now, outer and inner.
Yeah, so we're looking at 4.5k gold differential for the blue team right now. We've got 4,500 gold over purple.
I have a lot of people just roaming around trying to clear their side of the map, and again, nobody getting aggressive onto Dragon. You know, I guess blue team doesn't feel the need because each of their champions feels like they're doing well and playing ahead of their counterparts, which at least in the case of MF certainly seems to be true. Diana having a little bit of an advantage because of a couple of her roams resulting in extra kills, but not too far off from Cho'Gath. And then Irelia actually having a slight advantage over Kayle, although that's not playing out to real significance in the lane because each of them are leaving their lanes quite a lot. We actually see Irelia doing some roaming up and down the river right now. And we have 3 members of purple team against just MF at the mid tower here. But Diana and Rammus are above, though purple team does see it. They're looking to fold in. Vayne takes the taunt and the power ball. Lulu is out of position entirely. She's gonna go down. Vayne trying to condemn onto Diana to take down somebody dangerous. Cho'Gath manages to eat MF. This is looking very good for the purple team. Cho'Gath tries to put down the rupture to catch that fast little armadillo, but it is just K. There's nothing that can be done about that one. Diana's gonna walk off behind the turret, so see if she decides to re-engage, see how she's feeling about her relatively low health total. She's gonna just take her wraiths and call it a day from there, it looks like.
Yeah. I would actually like to see more aggression from the blue team, or perhaps grouping right now, because their problem is they have an MF with a lot of kills right now, but she's gonna stop scaling as well as Vayne pretty soon.
Sure. Although we did just see her pick up, now she's got Zeal and Infinity Edge. Misfortune taking the erstwhile moment to lament having been eaten. It's hard to say what's in there when Cho'Gath feasts on you. He is a creature of the void. Who knows if he has any sort of human or human-esque stomach.
Well, it really depends what he's building his stacks off of, I suppose.
No, is that so? Alright. And we do see him getting quite a lot of AP here. He's got his Codex for some further cooldown. It looks like he's going to see if he can finish up the Athene's Unholy Grail, and it's just a pop-up MF. He's doing a fairly large amount of damage there. I see Landovva has shown up. We do miss him. We're making sure everything's okay, although I'd like to think that we're making things happen all right without him.
So we see blue team going for
filing in
dragon.
for dragon, but purple has had that ward there for the last several minutes. They're not going to get in
seem to
position
be out
to
of
engage
position.
quickly enough. Yeah, it's not going to happen, especially with Nunu there. Rammus actually comes in and makes the smite happen, and now he is chasing after purple team, despite knowing how many of them are there. He pulls the taunt off onto Kha'Zix and is just hoping to taunt enough damage. Diana gets there, but Kha'Zix is able to jump out. Nunu was the absolute zero for no particular reason. Yeah. The Condemn coming out from against MF, but not really at the right time. A Rupture coming out from Cho'Gath, Rupture and a Feral Scream combined to do a lot of damage on Nunu. Diana jumping back in, and bullet time from MF. Lulu is going to go down as well. There's really nothing she can do. MF trying to get a little bit more damage out onto Kha'Zix, but he hops away. That was, for a fight that should have ended without really anybody dying, there was a lot of action there at the tail end.
Yeah, definitely. Now they're trying to jump on Cho'Gath here.
Diana's face. This is why you don't run into Cho'Gaths, people.
Yeah, that didn't really go the way they planned the 3-on-1 for Cho'Gath.
Yeah. Hey, on the plus side, the blue team is very delicious.
Yes, Cho'Gath is having a nice meal today. Or feast, as he would call it.
Yeah, that true damage. You think about Irelia and Olaf as true damage champions, but especially as a mid Cho'Gath, you just don't think of once you see his burst damage from individual abilities getting high, the feast somehow becomes less significant in your mind because he's doing the damage from his other abilities, right? So then you dash in on him, and suddenly he's eating your face.
Yeah. It's a very satisfying feeling as Cho'Gath to eat someone for 1,000 damage or something like that.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay, so just have both teams kind of roaming around right now. Decent amount of vision for both teams.
Yeah, everyone's taking a bit of a back after that last engagement to buy more items. Diana coming up with a chain vest and an abyssal scepter. Not a bad choice considering the chain vest is an interesting choice against the enemy team. They do have a lot of AD, but they also have that heavy AP and true damage from Cho'Gath.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that protects her as compared to more health. But
it really
the abyssal
looks
scepter
like
is also
she's
a
going
fun
for
choice.
the Zonias there, especially with that
the
needlessly
large.
large.
Absolutely. Kha'Zix trying to get into position. He's had a pretty good early game of it, or at least as of until about 5 minutes ago. He hasn't done too much since then, but he's getting set up with a brutalizer and also some mobility boots to kind of jump along with his increased leaping power to just move him around the map just as quickly as possible. Ram is coming in to engage on Lulu. Lulu pops herself her shield, and now we got Vayne coming in from the other side, but Vayne just really not in the right position for that. Yeah, she took a lot of. She put herself right into the place to take the
and
MF putting her, make it rain across everybody. She's got Irelia right in her face, but Nunu and Kayle together are going to take Irelia down. Oh my goodness, Vayne's still escaping, but now they're just chasing down onto Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix probably not going to get away. Ooh, with that heavy poke from, yep, there we go. That's a Crescent Strike.
Crescent.
Yeah, that range on blue team is just really their advantage here. Lulu's still hanging around and, tasting purple over by the dragon, but not too much to be said for that as blue team takes yet another purple team turret.
Yeah, and quite a team fight for blue team there. That was a 1-for-3 trade for them.
Absolutely.
That's solid.
Nunu comment. Oh, see that heavy Nunu poke. Vayne just hasn't seen it coming all game.
Yeah.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Sho'Gath not terribly happy with it, but we also had the Nunu ult, the ultimate zero in that fight down at the river, and MF comboed her make it rain excellently along with that, and was just able to do
a good
a lot
MF
of
ulti.
damage.
She got damage onto most of their team in that team fight.
I'm clearly not a official Riot license caster, but I think the amount of damage that MF was able to put down in that regard, and that that Nunu's ice balls continue to do, is somewhere in the range of several thousand pounds. So at least the 1,000 kilograms there.
That sounds about right. I think your math checks out. So it looks to me like purple team is farming a little bit better than the blue team. Some of their Irelia and Cho'Gath have a lot of farm right now.
Yeah, Aurelia's had that advantage over Kayle since the early game. Has just been, moving well and able to control the lane when that was still the case. Although, the 3 towers out of 4 across the top lanes are gone now, outside of the bases. So I haven't really had that going. But Aurelia does continue to farm well. And see if she can pull out. Yep, she's being gifted red buff by Kha'Zix there.
Yeah, and she's also getting closer to building her GA next, I'm assuming. And Irelia with the GA and Trinity Force is quite nice for that team.
Excuse me, that's the idea. And she does issue further magic resist at this point in favor of picking up some wards and potions, which wards are nice for her and for her team. Though haven't seen them gone down in too many places yet. They have the one out at Baron, which will show them when people are trying to show up. But blue team pulling their entire force around the top here and seeing if they can catch purple team away from a turret. Diana going to be the first in with a crescent strike onto Aurelia, but nothing much else happening from there. Rammus is going to go in and make things happen. He's pulling the taunt onto Vayne. He's taking lots of damage there, but he doesn't really care. He's setting up a Nunu for an awesome absolute zero, setting things up to happen. The blue team's still out of position at this point. Cho'Gath's going to see if he can eat MF space again. There he goes. No,
and the Kayle
he becomes invincible, down. And now everyone's chasing down the big fat man. Make It Rain's going to take him down, combined with more crescent strikes.
Wow. So we have
poor Cho'Gath.
3 down for the purple side.
Absolutely, that's 1v3. Rammus is making pretty admirable sacrifices here.
Yeah, we'll give Rammus the Medal of Honor there after the game.
I'm not even sure quite what Rammus is building in this regard, but it doesn't seem to matter too much.
Yeah. He's got that interesting Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, a carry Rammus build, and blue team is on to the Nexus, and that's going to do it.
Is going down. This looks like the game.
That's GG, ladies and gents.
GG.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's GG.
You need the soundbite.
Yeah, I could keep going for like 20 more seconds if I wanted to, but that's probably about all that anyone has patience for.
Yeah, probably true. So that was a very strong game by the blue team there.
Yeah, absolutely. So who's your personal pick for MVP?
I think Rammus had quite a few nice sacrifices there, and he got Diana pretty fed early. So I was impressed
to see Rammus knowing the limits of his champion and his stats well enough to just run into people, and everybody else on his team was really ready and willing to combine up off of that. And so there were a couple of really good team fights or skirmishes and engages that were initiated well by Rammus. Diana, as she does, did a couple of great pop back ins after engages should have hypothetically ended to pull out a couple of extra kills, and Misfortune with 2 or 3 really nice Make It Rains.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Misfortune made her first few kills just on her own with the help of her support, obviously, but she didn't really need those ganks.
As purple team noticed, the carry Nunu there with his Mejai's Soul Stealer. he was just Mejai's and the Rabadons. He turned off support mode after about 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Although Kayle picked up the Zeke's Herald, so a little bit of supporting going on for her. I'd say some interesting item builds on blue team in general.
Yeah, for as much as the game started to the standard metas, we saw everyone pull out their own unique styles, as it were, as we got further into the game.
Yeah. And we were very, very happy to see that we didn't have the technical problems of last game. So
absolutely. Hey, Riot manages to bandage and duct tape their servers hard enough that we can spectate and play a game. That's so much the better. And I do see we've had Landovva join us. How are you doing today?
I am much better now that I'm actually here.
I'm glad to hear that. And I'm also glad to hear that your friend is going to be fine. So
yeah, she'll be okay. I apologize for missing. Sometimes real life kind of gets in the way.
Yeah, well, real life is serious business.
too serious. I don't like it.
All right, so we are going to get our fifth and final game set up here. See how many of the players for that game are actually here and milling about, and we'll see if we can get our other caster, theAMO, up in the house, and that will be thePandasCan and I signing off for the evening.
Yes, thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
You guys did a great job. I was very, very impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a lot of fun playing in the first game and casting the next three. But I'm on the East Coast, so I'm more than ready to get a little bit of dinner here, considering I've been here for 5 hours now.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely hear that.
Yeah, I imagine if you were attending to someone who's in the hospital, you've had a less than regularly scheduled day yourself.
Yeah, it's been a little out of the norm, out of the ordinary. So it'll be fine. And I appreciate you guys filling in and covering while I was out.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
no
it's been our
problem.
pleasure.
All right, thanks so much, guys.
Everyone. Good night.
I'm going to try to configure Mumble and not be so stupid. And Leno, you should be getting the next game up. Alrighty then. Yeah.
I don't know. I know our plan is to get theAMO in as the other caster to support you here, as it were. And I mean, I'm more than happy to stick around if necessary. But
If
we'll
not,
see how it goes.
I'd be more than happy to go on with you. Let me see if I can get Leno to throw me an invite here first.
Sure.
Leno, please. Please. Yay. Casters don't need invites.
Right. So I'll make that announcement one more time that poor Leno does communicate primarily through psionics and telepathy. So if it ever sounds like we're talking to no one, we are talking to our cameraman and all-around organizer, poor Leno, who's helping us get things set up. So, you know, there's still, especially as we cycle our casters in and out, there's a little bit of acclimation as they get used to talking to someone who's speaking using telepathy.
It's been pretty weird so far. And a big shout out to Leno for doing a great job with the stream, and a big shout out to RJB Man, who's been the guy pretty much organizing everything and setting all these games up. He's done a fantastic job.
I'm inclined to agree. You know, despite the fact that the Riot servers dumped themselves, we've been pushing through and had 3 excellent games to watch here so far today, and looking forward to a 4th. I see that theAMO should be with us relatively soon. You know, I'm happy to stick around until he gets here, but at that point, you know, it may just be at the point where we're setting up our game. Although it does look like everyone has filed into the last game in a nice timely fashion. No, I'm still looking at having paused the last game here because I am paying no attention to my personal version of the Twitch TV stream.
Nope, you're not. You're
Yeah.
wrong. You're completely wrong.
Oh, I'm quite aware of that. But thanks to everyone who's been sticking it out with us all evening. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you felt the same way.
Trying to get Mumble set up properly so I can do this. I don't really use it for casting that much, so let's see if I can, how are you doing it? Push to mute?
Yeah. It's continuous, and then I have a mute button on a key.
Oh, okay. That should work. Is it working? Can everybody hear me?
I do believe so.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, the AMO is going to be joining us. Apparently he was in a bot game.
Yeah, I saw that, and I think I said as much. So, we will see when he gets here, and I'll be more than happy to cede the seat to him.
Excellent.
He says
excellent.
resend invite, so it looks like he's just about ready to get started. Let's just go ahead and get him in here.
The other caster.
Yeah, I'm telling him as much.
Oh, yeah, right. He needs to be in the room, and then he spectates off of one of us.
Mm-hmm. Ostensibly you, since you're already here, and I won't be spectating this game. Or,
One
won't
of
be
us.
casting.
One
I'll be
of
spectating,
us.
certainly, but I won't be casting. Thinking back on the games we've had so far today, and especially on the technically issued plagued game 3. I forgot to mute my Twitch chat here. There we go. Now that I can't hear myself, thinking back on the games 3, and then all the time we had to vamp as we were trying to come back and forth through clients, it reminds me that I have my lyrical alt version of the Kaiser Chiefs I Predict a Riot called I'd Blame It on Riot that I certainly could have performed earlier today, but missed out on that chance. So
For shame.
I know. I actually did do a little bit of singing as the competitors in that game were quoting Queen back and forth to one another. But
So
I'll
you were
have to change keep my singing antics for next week.
pulling your best CLGEU and singing during all the pauses and stuff?
Not during all of them. I mean, I had some problems myself. We were getting disconnected. The spectator server just dumped entirely. So.
Yeah, I heard about that. I saw a bunch of stuff on Twitter about all of the big games.
Yeah, the IPL.
The IPL
apparently
stuff.
having similar problems, and I guess that explains a lot of the issues that I've been having trying to watch those before we started here.
Yep.
Yeah, but no,
that would make
I
sense.
am actually a singer by interest and occasionally by trade. So when the opportunity arises, it's a bit shameful of me to have missed it like that.
For shame. For shame. since I have this fancy, nice little mute function, I'm gonna eat some Oreos while I wait for the game to start, and none of you will be able to hear me.
Sounds like a fine choice. The ammo is in our r/League of Legends IRC room, seeing if he can get the authentication token for the Glycerol channel. So I'm going to see if I can get that to him.
Yeah, I will message him real fast.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello there, sir.
Okay.
Hello, and furthermore, farewell from the world of tomorrow!
Do you watch Low Elo?
Me?
No, ateatree, but he's gone now. They did. The Low Elo podcast did something like that a couple of weeks ago. It was quite funny. And, yes, Mahu Shujo, I do wear the TEAMO hat when I cast. So, I will put it on right now. So, how are you today, Mr. Ammo?
Doing quite well. Minus the fact that
Excellent.
lost game number 2.
Did you play?
Yes I did.
Excellent. The problem with being a caster is, you don't get to play in as many games as you'd like to. First world problems.
No. Yep.
Everybody, come on the stream. We need people to play. Message RJB Man on IRC for invites, because we had poor results getting people out of IRC. We don't want any trolls. I mean, we trust you guys.
Can you send me the game invite again?
What you're gonna do is actually spectate off of me, because poor Leno is the one running the camera, and he needs a spectate slot. So if you add me on client, same name, Landovva 2Vs, and once we get into the game, you can spectate off of me. But until then, when we're doing picks and bans and such, just watch the stream for that. It'll only be like a 10-second delay, so you'll know what's up.
Okay.
Scumbag Croc Boy jumping back into the spectator.
Is this better?
It's a little better, but I'm getting... It pops every time you unmute it, that's weird. But yeah, that's definitely a little bit better.
How about this one?
I think that should be good. The thing that's echoing is I can hear me through you, so it's confusing me sometimes.
How about now?
Yeah, it's better. It's a lot better. Excellent.
Okay, I just turned the volume down.
Oh wow, I didn't know that Reckles wasn't old enough to qualify for Season 3. That's huge for Fnatic. I really hope they're able to somehow get him in there. I really like Reckles, not really like Fnatic. He's done some amazing stuff for them so far.
They haven't needed him yet.
I don't know. He was one of the big reasons that they were able to beat TPA from what I could tell. I mean, let's be honest. Xpeke was doing work on Katarina, especially in Game 1, but Reckles has been amazing from DreamHack to now, so I was very impressed by his play earlier this week. Or last week, I guess.
Or are you? Oh, you're saying in the future he's not gonna be able to do like league events because of his age?
Yeah, because the age restriction for Season 3 is 17, and apparently he's not old enough.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, Lily, come play. Lily, come play, Lily. Lily. Sorry, I'm a little tired, and I'm really excited to actually cast a game tonight. This is an interesting lineup for the TSM Blaze game. Like Special took Lulu away from Lust Boy. You've got Darius on Olaf, who he really likes. You've got Maokai and Odd One on Maokai, who he really likes. You've got Reggie on Morgana, who he really likes. You've got Chaos on Ezreal, who he really likes. And Special's playing Lulu, who's been the strongest support of the tournament.
Very true. Although I think the Diana's really been the most important, almost important champ of the game. I mean, she's been able to turn every fight around, especially in the last game.
I completely agree. Diana's been huge this tournament.
I mean, that ability just to jump onto whatever backline champ, AD carry, or whoever's in the back and assassinate them while having a CC for the team so they can't stop her. Plus, she can just go pretty tanky.
Yeah, she can build pretty glass cannony, she can build pretty damn tanky, she can build somewhere in between, and she's very, very versatile depending on the team comp. She's a really great pick. You know, I usually play her in the jungle, or mid. Those are my two main roles when I play. And when I'm in the jungle, you know, I kind of go first item Giant's Belt, go into a Rylai's and build, you know, tankier items. And when you're in mid, it's not really your job to be that kind of, I don't know, tanky assassin, kind of an oxymoron, but you're able to do so much with any item build, and she's just ridiculous. Guys, we need 2 more people for Team 2 for this final game of the night. Message RJB Man on IRC for an invite. I know there's a lot of you in there. And I know that you're watching IPL 5, and I've been too, but you've got time for a game. Come on. Come on! It'll be on stream. It's gonna be special.
Sorry. Oh.
I am ready if you guys are.
Me too.
Excellent, excellent. And we finally are into the picks and games for this final game of the night here on the IRC5's channel. Again, if you guys do not know about the IRC channel, if you just came here from the little box on the front page, check us out. There is a link on the front page in the sidebar that you can jump to and get information on how to join us in the IRC. Most of us don't bite, no promises about Crocboy. And we do see Blitzcrank and Amumu, the first two bans for each team.
Pretty much standard bans coming out. I think Amumu has either been played or banned in every the matches tonight, and the same with Blitzcrank.
Nobody wants to mess with either one of them, especially Blitzcrank. As we saw in the first Azubu Blaze TSM game, a single hook changes everything. And you don't really want to leave something like that just up to chance. Malphite ban coming out for the blue team. 10 seconds left for the second ban for purple. 4, 3, 2, Taric. That's gotta be targeted at Lily.
They were going to target, I know earlier in chat she was talking about how much she's been playing Lulu recently, so... But, you know.
She does like her Lulu. She's a support main, so she does that quite a bit. And Shen is going to be the final ban. Sorry, he's trying to set some things up. Again, you know, these are all pretty standard bans, if you think about it.
Yeah, nothing too exciting so far. I mean, the Taric ban might have thrown a couple people for a curve, but we'll see.
And the final ban is going to be Darius. So Lulu's still open. We've still got all the ADs open. We've still got all the AP mids open, honestly. Diana, we've been seeing a lot of. Katarina's still going to be open. If somebody can try to pull a frog in, we'll see maybe an Anivia or a Lux, which I'd be excited for.
I believe in the last game, Ezreal was also banned, so all the AD carries down low are ready to go as well.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Ezreal bans come out, and again, it's just a lot of convenience bans, banning people that nobody wants to play against. I don't want to play against Ezreal, are you kidding? He's an asshole. Let's be real. Oop, dash 12, hovering over Kha'Zix, maybe somebody channeling their inner Soaz. Lock. There it is, first pick is going to be that Kha'Zix. And the potential for a Nunu Cog bot lane. Cog still being decided on, but Hif Grants. I'm just going to call you Grants, and you're going to like it. Grants is going to go ahead and lock in Nunu. Nunu Cog, one of those ridiculously strong synergistic bot lanes. You throw the Blood Boil onto Cogbot, and it's just pew, 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 goodbye, your entire team's health. All gone. Immediately.
Yep, Kog'Maw can pretty much chew through any tank that gets run up against them, because his W scales off of their opponent's health, and on top of that, just that attack speed on any AD carry really helps in that, particularly in that late game when everyone's got a whole bunch of items set up for him.
Yeah, he gets pretty terrifying late game. Oh, we're gonna have a TEAMO. Oh no. Asshole alert. Asshole alert. TEAMO, there are two champions in the game. Oh, thank God. 2 champions in the game who I fundamentally hate. Who I fundamentally hate everything about.
Why?
One of them is Poppy.
Okay.
The other one is
Poppy either.
The other one is Teemo. I hate Teemo. I really do. I hate Teemo with passion. He's annoying. He never dies. The global taunt is so strong that I just want to kill him all the time. Poppy I hate just because I think her mechanics are just horribly broken. A champion who, like, actively looks at your damage and laughs at you as she walks away invincible frustrates the hell out of me.
Yeah, I can see that. I just think that Poppy can be either extremely dominant or just tanks, like completely fails the entire team. And it's like one way or the other, there's no middle ground.
That's very true. I do have a Smurf account in which I only play Poppy. It's very entertaining because 90% of the time it's like 17-0, 19-0, or like 2 and 5 and 36, or ridiculous numbers like that because she kind of goes hard no matter where she is and doesn't care about anything. We're gonna see Vladimir and Cho'Gath being locked in for the purple team. Wouldn't be surprised to see Cho'Gath in the jungle. He's a very, very strong jungle pick, one that we've been seeing a lot of lately. Pretty much popularized by CLGEU's Snoopé. My personal favorite player, I will admit it. And ateatree.
You just like to look at him, don't you?
Shh.
He just stares into the camera.
Stares into my soul. Anyway, Dr. Bear and PandasCan grabbing that Diana and Graves, and Wobringer are going to almost insta-lock Brand. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sure if we're going to see Kha'Zix mid versus Brand or Diana mid versus Brand.
That's very true, and I'm pretty interested onto how the blue team's gonna go into this because Kha'Zix, Jax, Diana, and Graves, they all have to get really close in to deal tons of damage, and they're all gonna have to run into the Nunu ult, into the Cho'Gath rupture, into the Vlad ult, into the Brand ult bouncing off everyone.
But look at the 3 champions that you were just talking about. Kha'Zix, Jax, Diana. They have a jump comp.
Yes, they do. Kog'Maw is going to get basically dogpiled.
He's basically
going to
get
get bottom
mugged.
of a dog pile.
Yeah, he will be the bottom of a large purple dog pile if nobody uses any skins. Lily's going to try to get a picture-perfect crescendo. A crescendo into a Graves collateral damage over everybody into the 3 of them piling on somebody is going to pretty much, like, do so much damage that they won't exist in the game anymore. Their account will be deleted is how much damage is going to be done to them if all 5 of them... Excuse me. If all 5 of them jump onto somebody.
Yes, that's very true. And with Graves, he can probably sit far enough back because they're going to be all worried about the assassins coming in from the blue team. Running into that, they're going to have to get some magic resist because you're going to run into a wall of magic damage before you get to Kog'Maw. Sorry about that. You're going to run into a wall of magic damage.
Yeah, that's a huge front line, especially with Vladimir, who can be really, really irritatingly tanky, and yet still, in one spell rotation, take you to half health with like 2 spells, or if he's able to get everything plus an ignite, that's it. You're gone. And they're gonna have a couple of good knockups. I think they're going to have a hard time keeping a hold of the blue team. They're all going to be really mobile. I mean, except for Sona, but Sona's got great disengage, and even though she'll be squishy as hell in the early levels, she'll be able to kind of, wend her way through the battle, I think, just, supporting everybody and, hopefully getting a game-changing flash ult. But you've got a knock-up from Cho'Gath, and you have a very unreliable stun from Brand.
And that's
That's it. That's all like the hard CC that they're gonna have. Yeah, they've got slows. They've got Nunu slow. They've got Kog'Maw slow. They've got Vlad pool slow. But if Vlad uses his pool aggressively, that never usually ends well. And Nunu's gonna have a really, really hard time peeling for Kog'Maw. The blue team did a perfect job picking this comp against Kog'Maw.
Yeah, I would have rather liked to see like maybe an Orianna to give a little bit more hard CC and a more of a protect the Kog'Maw build, to protect that AD carry who's gonna have to tank or go through all the tanks as probably as fast as possible. That Nunu Blood Boil is gonna help him though.
Yeah, I mean, if Kog'Maw's able to stay alive for longer than 5 seconds in a big team fight, I guarantee that the purple team will win it. I guarantee. If they're going to be able to keep them at range, Brand does have pretty decent range. So if they're able to keep the range advantage, because, you've got a lot of short range characters for the blue team. Graves can kind of be considered an AD caster. I say kind of. I mean, he's an AD carry, but he does have kind of short range. And once Kog'Maw throws on that, throws on his Blood Boil. No, excuse me, not the Blood Boil. Once he throws on the Bio-Arcane Barrage, he'll, be standing like pretty much a mile away. They'll still have the dives to be able to get on him, but he'll be really far away and won't have to worry about anything.
I'll agree with you on that, but that's if things get to late game. In this early game,
that is if things get to late game, yeah.
Well, isn't that kind of how it goes?
Most of the time, some teams they're relying on the strength of Kog'Maw late game, and I think that's always a tricky thing to do. If you haven't yet, go ahead and spectate off of me. We are in the spectator delay. Zombie Brand. Oh yes.
Yep, I'm on the loading screen. I love the Brand skin. I love the Cho'Gath skin as well.
Oh, I have both of them. They are so good. I'm really bad at Brand, but that skin is just so good.
The animation is so great.
Yeah, it really is.
Now, if we go up and down the lane matchups, we got... Who's going... Is Kha'Zix going to go mid?
Kha'Zix is going to be going mid, yeah.
Yeah. Kha'Zix can go mid. If he plays it right, I still think Brand has the advantage, though. Until Kha'Zix can get a little bit of magic resist, and then I think Brand may be out of luck.
Yeah. He'll be... Brand is a bit squishy, especially at early levels. So if... Sorry, I'm going to move some stuff on Mumble. If Kha'Zix is going to be able to abuse that, which I assume he will be, as I've seen a lot of really, really strong Kha'Zix mid-play in the last couple of days, actually, he's going to be able to abuse that squishiness, and it's going to be a rough time for Brand, I think, if we see Diana come in for a gank. She doesn't have the world's strongest ganks pre-6, but an extra Crescent Strike will help a whole lot to kind of just distract Brand when Kha'Zix comes flying in.
No, yeah, and I think that's kind of where we're gonna have to go. But the ganks coming from either side, the CC comes from, well, the CC will come from Cho'Gath. Top, you have the Jax stun. Other than that, we just got slows until 6. So I think this may be kind of a passive game early, which would probably help the purple team. The longer the game goes, the more a chance Kog'Maw can lead them to victory.
I would really like to see that. Late game Kog'Maws are terrifying, and they are gonna not have the squishy front line that I think that the red team is gonna have here. I mean, Kha'Zix is gonna be a little squishy, and depending on how I expect Diana to build pretty tank. But Jax is You know, gonna try to be going for damage. He's Jax, that's what they do. So you're pretty much gonna be relying on either Jax or Diana to be tanky, but the two of them are gonna be diving onto Kog'Maw. So I think that if the red team's gonna be able to take this like pick by pick, you know, picking people out, you know, catching people out. That's the phrase that I was looking for. Then that'll be good. I'm not sure exactly what I'm trying to say. Blue buffs being picked up by both junglers, pretty standard. We see them both traveling across. Diana didn't grab her wolves first, so Cho'Gath is going to be going straight across to his wraiths. And I think we may actually see a kind of passive early game, as Kha'Zix is just going to maybe take a little bit of harass from Brand.
Yeah, that early ranged poke is probably going to help Brand out early, until Kha'Zix can put some points in his is it his E? Nope, his W. His W shoots out the little
yeah, his W is the Void Assault, I think? Void Spike, excuse me. And I think we're going to see the same thing up top. You know, Vladimir is going to be able to harass with Transfusion. He's going to honestly be able to harass with auto attacks. Jax, very, very strong. Everybody knows how strong Jax is. He's, like, terrifying. He's terrifyingly strong. But if he gets bullied early game, it's hard for him to kind of catch up. Vlad isn't the strongest early game, you know, not by any means. He's kind of honestly a weak early game champion until he gets to level 9. But he's still gonna have the range advantage on Jax, as you know, he just immediately jumps on him and deals a bit more damage.
Okay, as we can see down in the bottom lane, there are a couple of wards already been placed by the supports, but the purple team does have a pink ward in the river bush, which can see the blue team's ward in the river, so maybe Cho'Gath later will come by and clean that up, or Nunu.
We may see Diana coming for a gank mid if she's able to land a Crescent Strike. She is double buffed. Let's see if she's actually going to be able to jump in. Here she goes. Oh, Brand actually aggressively flashing. Yeah, he flashed to try and get the stun on the Kha'Zix. It didn't actually work. Flash from Kha'Zix, flash from Diana. That's a lot of damage and first blood going on to Kha'Zix.
Not exactly sure. I don't think Brand, even with that flash, I mean, he would have been able to get a stun and a nice combo off. And with Ignite, he might have been able to kill Kha'Zix, but it wasn't a guaranteed kill. And as a result, we got another attempt going down bottom. Purple team pushing out, thinking maybe Cho'Gath would stick around to help out. But
nope, like he's back mid.
Yeah, he backed off mid, but Cho'Gath did pick up that blue team's ward in the river, so he's got 25 more gold for himself. But that's not as much gold as the assist that Diana picked up.
No, definitely not. That's going to help both of them. And, you know, I think blue team, if they're able to snowball well, is going to be able to take this game. Kha'Zix gets really strong just from items, so if he's able to farm well, which he's, you know, 1-up on CS right now on Graves, so he's doing okay. But, you know, Diana and Jax and Kha'Zix are 3 champions that if they get, like, an abnormal amount of gold, they're probably 3 of the champions that I don't want to see get that amount of gold. It's the worst. Graves is going to aggressively jump in onto Kog'Maw. Nothing's really going to happen. He's actually going to cleanse a little bit late. That was
cleansed the last couple of ticks of Ignite. He didn't want to risk it.
I don't think he had to do that.
I don't believe he needed to, but he was not sure probably if Graves could dash in and look.
Oh, and there's a kill top. Yeah. And, you know, I'm predicting things today. I am right so far, because that was all Vladimir, just harass, hit 6. Didn't even have to use his ult. He ignited, and he did a lot of damage with Tides of Blood and Transfusion, and then that's dead.
Ultra, something interesting here. If you can see the bot lane, Graves is actually level 5, while Sona just now turned level 4. She is actually she's been standing further back from the minions, not getting as much experience when Graves kills them. So she is actually slightly behind the Nunu, who's been up in the front and also consuming.
Well, I mean, we all know that
slightly progressed.
We all know that Sona is just like a big minion at level 1. She has like, what, 70 more health than a caster minion or something like that?
Yeah, it's ridiculously low. They tried to nerf her by taking her health away, and that's definitely ridiculous.
And then she's gonna hit 6, and she'll, flash ult somebody, and they will die. Cho'Gath is lurking around in this bottom lane. Lily's going to have herself a little rupture party. In the meantime, Brand going very, very low. Dr. Bear trying to get the jump on, does get it, but is not able to finish him off. Ignites used, ultimate used from Dash 12, no ignites. Brand still out of there, does have his ultimate up, so maybe if Diana tries to come in to gank again, she is still here. Cho'Gath is going to try to come around, is going to get the rupture and the feral scream. Missing the stun is Brand on the Kazakhs, and after that little bit of trade, they're just gonna head back into their respective jungles and grumble about how they weren't able to get a kill.
Yep, and up top in that top lane, Jax came back to lane with a Negatron cloak, whereas Vlad came back to lane with the Hextech revolver. So Vlad will never leave lane now. He has a Hextech. He should never leave lane.
No, I doubt that he will. Jax, as I'm watching it, jumping on, doing a little bit of damage. He's still at half health, though, and the Negatron Cloak, honestly, is a good idea. I don't know what he's going to build it into. I think maybe a No Magic Mantle would have served him a little bit better, because he can build that more easily into things, unless he's going to go for like a first item Banshee's Veil, which would be a little odd. But it should help. It's not helping a whole lot right now, especially as Vlad's about to hit level 9.
He's drinking potions and an alcoholic faster than an alcoholic drinks beer.
Yeah, he's chugging some stuff. We did see Kazakhs put out a lot of damage on a Cho'Gath, forcing his ignite. Jax is going to go for the stun, does get the stun, but is a little bit too low health to go into anything. Dr. Bear's going to land himself a Lunar Strike. The Moonfall pulling him in. He's going to get stunned. Here comes the Pyroclasm, only going to bounce twice. And even with the Ignite on her, she's going to be okay, as we have the minions fighting it out in the bush.
Jax has been pushed to his tower. Graves and Sona have back for the first. He's picked up your normal 2 Doran's Blades and Berserker Greaves. Kog'Maw and Nunu have returned as well. But notice Cho'Gath has picked up Boots of Mobility after his first buy, whereas Diana went Sheen with her Regrowth Pendant. So, sorry, a Fairy Charm. She's never going to run out of mana, especially if she starts donating blue to Kha'Zix, which you have in. Kha'Zix jumps on the Cho'Gath, and that's a dead Cho'Gath.
Oh, yep. Dead Cho'Gath. Metal on metal. And the big bug wins. As Brand come in a little bit too late. That's another kill there for Kha'Zix. Up about 700 gold on his lane opponent. Down about 5 in CS. We did see Brand grab that Ninja Tap by first item along with 2 Doran's Blades. Very smart. Jax coming back to lane after taking a lot of harass from, and almost dying, honestly, just from the, I think, 1 ult combination from Vladimir, getting out CS nearly by 20 now, has a Vamp Scepter. So he's going to do his best to stay in lane, but Diana is around, and Vlad does have a nicely placed ward there, so, which is expiring right now, so he's going to be very, very careful. This may actually not be a bad time for him to go back.
There's a rupture, and Diana gets silenced. He's going to be able to escape this, though. No real pressure.
Vladimir not able to chase quite closely. Does land the Crescent Strike onto Cho'Gath, and as Vladimir still keeps...
Jump in.
Yeah. I don't think he wants to do that with Diana gone. He's still not strong enough to fight Jax 1v1. Excuse me, to fight Vladimir 1v1.
I think, well, look at Kazakh's
look at the damage that Kazakh's able to put out.
And all he has is 2 Doran's Blades. He will be so tanky.
There's the stun. He's going really, really low. Pyroclasm was popped, but only bounced, I think, twice. And I think Cho'Gath, he wanted the dive, but isn't going to be quite close enough. Diana coming around from behind is going to be seen by that. Another ward. Red team doing a great job of warding. They are behind by about 500 gold, but they are getting a little bit...
Looks like Vlad wants a gank on the Jax, but Brand is coming bottom towards this. And let's see if he can set up a camp. But Sona has warded this extremely well. There's vision in every bush, and it looks like the flash.
Beautiful flash.
Escape, and she's
But
sick.
Lily's in a lot of trouble.
All stunned. Oh, not in time. Cleanse coming out from Nunu. Cleanse coming out from Kog'Maw. There's the Nunu roll. Ignite.
Oh,
not
Dr. Bird
able to
jumping
take
right
down
back
Kog'Maw.
in. He's gonna get stunned. Pillar of Flame coming out. He's gonna go very low. Has to flash. Brand gonna flash after Ignite,
There's the
and
Ignite.
that is gonna be it. Well, this is some
And
fantastic
Nunu's gonna
brand play.
drop here in a second. Oh!
Kog'Maw with that one living artillery attack picks up the kill. Oh, very well done. And
Kog'Maw actually picked up 2 kills, picked up Sona and Grace.
he picked up Sona indeed, and
Oh no.
you know
That's
that
not
was
the team on field.
that was very close for both teams. Honestly, I was hoping that Lily was very, very close, but Kog'Maw clutch cleanse, able to get that at just the perfect time and be okay. Kazakh's coming up top for a gank. Does not know that Vladimir has backed, grabbing himself the Sorcerer's Shoes. He is over 20 CS in front of Jax. Jax doesn't even want to go and farm those minions because he doesn't know where Vladimir is.
Yeah, vision is so important in League of Legends that if you can't see it, you could be dead in 2 seconds. I just want to point out Cho'Gath's build so far. He has not got a GP5 item. He's the farthest behind in CS on his team. No assist. He has just got cloth armor and boots of mobility.
I would assume
is he rushing a frozen heart?
Yeah, that's what I would assume. We did see a little bit of trade come out in mid lane. A lot of damage actually put on the Kazakhs. He's just gonna regen and life steal the rest of it back. Dr. Bear is gonna try to come in for a gank. He's gonna land the Crescent Strike, jumping in. Pyroclasm and the stun coming out. Wolverine's still alive
damage.
somehow. Dr.
Wow.
Bear's not gonna be able to hit the Moonfall. Here comes the
There's the
Rupture. Is
Rupture.
there gonna be a nom? The damage. All right,
Cho'Gath
there's 1 kill on
got
the dash
one.
12.
There's 2.
Cho'Gath gets the double. Wow. Woebringer
Changes
escaping,
around.
I think, with like 50 health, and just perfect timing there for Dark Zero. He didn't have Feast up quite yet, so neither Diana or Kazakhs were going to get nommed, but still, he was right there, right at the perfect time, noms himself that big Wraith, and I would feel pretty good about that if I were you.
No, especially Brand had red buff from the gank earlier, and I think that may have helped in his survival, his ability to just lay a little bit of slow and pressure on them as he was running away through second turret. I mean, the double tower dive. It looks like Kog'Maw's pushing down on the Graves, just eating his entire health away with that blood boil and his W just running.
Jax going really, really low to the Hemo Plague. Isn't going to fall, though, and just still getting completely bullied right now.
Vlad's getting jumped on. He's stuck around went a little too far. There's the stun.
Oof. Yep. I think Vlad got a little bit too aggressive there. You know, didn't know where the mid laner was. Jungler's always kind of missing, and with the ward coverage that the red team has in the jungle, you know, they would have seen if he was coming around for a gank, or excuse me, if Diana, was coming around for a gank. So
well, she actually came up from when she died. She came from the fountain. So, I mean, you should have ward blue if you're gonna go that way. But I probably would have just walked back by the tower. And
Yeah.
Kog'Maw once again just chewing down this pressure on this bottom lane. Diana's gonna have to come down here and visit because Kog'Maw's up in CS, up in kills, and is just tearing apart Graves' health right now.
yeah, he's a little scary. A little bit scary. And, you know, 10 CS on Kog'Maw is going to help. Oh, wow, Dash 12 actually flashing in onto Woebringer. Woebringer is going to land the stun and the Pillar of Flame. Dash 12 is ignited. It may actually fall. He's so close, and yes, yes.
Oh my gosh,
Passive,
wow.
I think.
It had
Lots
to have
of
been the passive.
because I think Ignite went away with just like 10 health left, and I think the tick of the passive got him. So Brand grabbing himself a little free blue buff, goes on back to base, and 2, 1, and 3. Yes, I know what he's gonna try to build next. I would assume probably just going straight for the death cap.
Probably. It's unless he wants just a little bit more utility and health, then he probably goes Ryle after this. But with Brand and that burst damage, he probably goes straight Death Cap in this instance.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We do see Cho'Gath coming down bot lane. There are no awards for the blue team. PandasCan is going to jump out. Dr. Bear is here though. They didn't know
There's
about
a good
that.
stun by Sona.
Exactly, the Crescendo coming over, hitting everybody. Kog'Maw cleansing out of it. He wants Dr. Bear, gets the Crescent Strike again. Not going to jump around, popping himself that Pale Cascade. Oh, flashing into a Rupture. Darkseer's going to pick up 1 kill. I think Pandas is going to fall for the second one. Is flashing. Kog'Maw flashing to chase. He's going to throw the Living Artillery. Yes, he's going to pick it up. And I think this is just going to be a very, very dead Sona. Trying to flash away is going to get completely eaten by Cho'Gath. And again, I'm not even sure if he knew that Diana was there, but turning around an attempted gank, Cho'Gath doing work right now.
Well, Diana came bottom to gank, and they saw her go into the bush, and then Kog'Maw just was trying to poke at her with his Living Artillery, trying to see where she at, is she still down there, and she just stuck around too long to try and get that kill on Kog'Maw, who is getting now far ahead, who's 3-0-3, and he will be that, people leader, he'll be that little guy that just absolutely destroys anything that comes in his path late game. He has now picked up a BF sword, so he is much further along than Graves in his build.
I mean, almost, he has, what, a 12k gold lead? No, not 12k, I did it again. He's a 1200 gold lead just on himself. The champ Lexius coming back from last week. Red team, after a quick early lead from the blue team, up 10-4 in kills. No towers, but a 4k gold lead.
Yeah, and if you just look down the line, they are winning in CS in every single situation. There goes the first tower for the purple team. And, unless these assassins for the blue team start picking up some kills, I think they may fall too far behind to jump onto someone and actually kill the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, the assassins haven't been very assassin-y so far. We'll see what they're going to be able to do. Cho'Gath has a Guardian Angel already.
What? He rushed a Guardian Angel?
He still has all the items for the Frozen Heart, which it looks like he's going to build next. PandasCan going very, very low. One more auto attack would have finished him off, but Nunu wasn't there to dive with him. Yeah, he rushed Guardian Angel. I mean, he got 3 kills and an assist in like 5 minutes, so I don't think he was really worried about too much. And he's just going to become really, really big, keep those stacks, and laugh at people trying to take him down.
Yep, we see Brand trying to sit over behind this ward to maybe just throw out some pillars and get some good poke onto the champions and the minions. As we see Sona's down here by herself trying to protect this tower because Graves at the back, because Kog'Maw once again has forced Graves out of lane. And they're not even trying to deal damage to the tower. Kog'Maw's just eating at the creeps. We'll leave the tower for the minions. We'll force all of our lane minions into tower so Graves loses out on us. And oh no. Oof. Not enough.
Lily trying to... Oh, the collateral damage is the execute. Grant is going to get the absolute zero. Able to slow double kill there for Kog'Maw as Brand picks up the dragon. Flashing over. Is going to get the Pyroclasm on both of them. PandasCan going so low. Here comes Autark getting the Hemo Plague. Jack's jumping in and popping his Grandmaster's Might.
This is not going to be enough. This is where these two assassins are here to play and here to stay. Brand's going to go down here too.
Oh, I don't know. Pillar of Flames on a 2-second cooldown. Seer just came up. I thought he was going to be able to get it. So close.
Well, if you notice, after Kog'Maw died, he was able to use his passive to run into Sona and kill her under tower because he doesn't take damage of his little Void Lane bomb. And as a result, Chain Vest and Infinity Edge.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him rushing a Guardian Angel here. He's 5-1-3. He's, the blue team is riding on him and Cho'Gath right now. Brand did grab himself that first item, Rabadoodles. So he's gonna have a massive amount of AP.
Where was Cho'Gath that entire time? I saw they get Dragon, and then he just run away, or?
I think he was being. I don't know. I'm not sure either.
Brand was actually the one that picked up Dragon.
Yeah, I saw that. Brand I don't know, maybe Cho'Gath got
Brandon
distracted.
Yeah. Got a large minion wave top, and Vlad is just going to feast on all of it. He's going to keep him away from tower and heal up everything that they throw at him. As Nunu has now picked up an Oracles for this bottom lane, so they may be in a position now to want to push and take this bottom tower. The other two outer row towers have been taken. This would be the next objective for the purple team, is to take this outer tower. And kills coming with Kog'Maw picking up Sona, but Diana did pick up Vladimir.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And there's that tower that we were speaking of. So Diana's going to come bot here. And there is Ward, and Diana has actually picked up an Oracle for herself. It looks like pings are going off for the purple team here. They're jumping onto Diana. They want to get that Oracles off, and Kog'Maw has finished her before she could get back to tower. So that is a 400 gold spent and a 400 gold gone, with only one real ward and no ganks to pick up. All coming out for Brand, dealing damage, bouncing it off. I think it got all 5 hits off, and finish off as the purple team finish off this mid tower as they are looking to push down this middle lane. Sona has fallen to Kog'Maw as he just chews through everything that moves, and he's got his whole tank line here. Blood Boil has been placed upon him as they're now going to be pushing onto this tower to try and get this inhibitor tower and taken. Brand is just going to dive, and there's the surrender coming out from the blue team. So looks like the purple team has won this game, and we'll go into the final stats here. Okay, as we look at the final stats, the MVP definitely has to go Kog'Maw. 8-1-3. Basically, the assassins couldn't get to him, and once the assassins couldn't get to him, it was over for them. So I'm not sure what happened to Landovva.
I didn't leave or anything. I'm still
Oh,
here.
you just stopped talking.
I just stopped talking for a second. I was reading something on chat.
Oh, no, that's fine.
No, honestly, my MVP is Cho'Gath. He was putting pressure everywhere, getting kills, and putting out damage everywhere. An amazing job from him. You know, picking up some kills bot, picking up some kills mid, helping everybody snowball out of control, and then going Guardian Angel first item. I mean, come on! That's ridiculous. It's hilarious.
No, the first item, Guardian's Angel, is pretty crazy in and of itself. I don't think I've seen anyone rush a Guardian's Angel in a match.
No, I haven't either, and it's I like it. I like it a lot. What I think is gonna happen now, Leno, we're gonna let you go to bed. And I think we're gonna turn off the stream. I will pick up the stream, maybe on my personal, maybe on this, probably still on this one, and we're gonna have some ARAM fun like we did last week. I will stream the Mumble chats, and it'll just be as ridiculous as it was last week. So, Ammo, thank you so much for joining me. It was great. I really appreciated having you on. You did an excellent job, and hopefully we'll get you in maybe next week.
No, I would absolutely do it again. I rather enjoyed myself, and thank you for having me.
Great. Thanks so much. Everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. We did have 5 amazing games tonight. We are going to have a couple of ARAMs afterwards. I'm going to set up the stream. Leno's going to get himself to bed, or, you know, take a little bit of a break.
Rest my eyes.
And, yeah. Thank you guys so much, and we will be back in just a moment.